What's up, everybody? Stacking Surfer here, your favorite YouTube stacker, back with another awesome video. And today we're going to talk about gold and silver. All right, what's going to happen with the prices in 2025? What my prediction is for the end of the year. Hit it. Stacking Surfer. The life I think I'm your best friend. Balances in your bank instead. And for those of you that are new, hit that subscribe and bell icon so that you don't miss anything. So let's talk about it. We've just seen gold barely touch overnight $3,500, okay? And we've seen silver struggle to keep up. So let's talk about gold. Why is it up at $3,500? Well, we have a couple things that have happened this year, okay? One is we have a new president, President Trump, okay? He's back again. And he's been talking about tariffs, okay? And he has actually come through on that and put tariffs in place. We've seen basically a trade war start with many countries, and then we saw it pull back a little bit, and then we saw a very strong trade war with China. Okay, and I believe that's one of the main reasons we've been seeing a lot of the action in gold up to $3,500. In addition to that, we have been seeing a lot of risks to the economy, right? Especially with the tariffs. Are people going to buy things? Are they going to be too expensive? Are we going to make them here? Are we going to import them from somewhere else? And so that's one of the reasons you've seen a lot of silver take a dive, okay? So silver's taken a big hit because of that. Now, things have changed just in the last couple days. So you may be watching this video later in the year, but today is April 23rd, okay? So what we saw just happen in the last 48 hours, if we saw gold retreat and give back about $200 on the spot price in 2 days, okay? But we saw it going up $100 a day for quite a while. So anyway, it's healthy to have a pullback, and it's good. I would actually like to see gold go back down to $2,800, maybe even $2,600, to go back and test those lows and then have another big movement up, okay? But because I don't know if that's going to happen, I'm not sitting there selling all my gold and hoping that I'm going to be able to play that market. I own gold because it's money. I don't own gold because I'm trying to make a buck off of it. Silver I own because I believe that one day we may have to barter with these, okay? Plus, I believe it's the most undervalued metal out there. And I believe it has massive amounts of upside for it. But I need to be very patient with silver. It can take a while for it. So we've seen the gold to silver ratio go almost up to 106. We've seen it now come down. I believe it's around 100 right now. It might be a little bit below it. And so we're seeing gold moving down very quickly and silver moving up, it seems, very quickly at the same time. These things are going to happen. This year is going to be kind of a crazy year. So things to be watching out for this year, and then I'll give you my prediction at the end, so stay until the end. But before I give you a couple upsides, please hit that subscribe and bell icon down below if you haven't already, and then hit the thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you like the video. So here's the deal. We have a lot of things that could happen this year, okay? So one of those is going to be the tariffs. I do not believe that the tariffs are just a negotiation tactic by President Trump. I believe it is a new way to bring money in for the federal government. And so I do not expect us to see a bunch of these countries negotiate with the United States and to see those tariffs go back to zero. Maybe get into the 5 to 15% with a few of these countries, and there's going to be negotiations that are done there. And we're going to see their tariffs come way down, if not completely off. China's another story. There's a lot that needs to be done there with China. So we could see that linger. We could also see it be different. We could see it still be fairly high. Trump talked about this on the campaign trail. He talked about getting rid of the IRS and in turn bringing tariffs to pay. And if we go back to the late 1800s, it worked for the country. It was working so well for us. It brought so much money in, they had to create a commission to figure out what to do with all the money that was coming in. 1913, okay, we have the 16th Amendment, which I think is very much illegal. It should not be in existence. I think it needs to be repealed and abolished. And the reason for that is, well, you go do your homework on it. Go research how that thing was passed, and you tell me how legitimate that looks, okay? Now, it's technically on the books, so it is there. It is legal. You do have the IRS now, and you do have to pay income taxes, unfortunately, but it shouldn't be. I don't like it, and I want to see it go away. I want to see the Federal Reserve go away, okay? I don't think we need it. Back in those days, they argued that we needed it to keep the banks solvent. We have 4,500 banks. I think it's time to hold the banks accountable, and those that run the banks accountable for what they do, instead of having an umbrella that's from the Federal Reserve that is taxpayer bailouts, okay? Now, the laws have changed in 2000 since 2008 to where we've gotten rid of bailouts, okay, where a bank goes down and the taxpayers pay for it. Now we have bail-ins. However, we have Janet Yellen, who is our Treasury Secretary, as well as the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, basically break the law by allowing for a bailout with Silicon Valley Bank a couple of years ago. That should not have happened. I don't know where the billionaires are that should have sued the Fed and the U.S. Treasury for that to say, hey, you guys are doing illegal acts, but it happened anyway. Let's hope more and more truth keeps coming out and we can fix the problem that we have ahead of us. So how do we fix that, right? Well, you get rid of those things, you start having more tariffs, and we get rid of the income tax, right? We'll probably end up with a much higher consumption tax when you go to buy things, a sales tax. I'd like to see us get rid of property tax. I don't think we should be penalized after we buy a property and we pay it off with potentially losing it to the county and to other people that are doing tax liens. I think a lot of that should go away. I'd like to get rid of the entire tax lien business. Now, some of you make money from that, but I think it should be gone. So I'd like to see that go away as well. And I do think we need to take the federal spending way, way down. Okay, and that's going to be one of the things that's needed. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the other issues that could come up. So one, we've got the tariffs. Two, we've got the stock market. It's very bloated. It's very overpriced right now. PE ratios are out of control. If you know anything about the stock market, I expect to see a massive stock market correction. And beyond that, I expect to see a crash this year. Now, if that happens, you have two choices. You can sell at the bottom or you can hold on to it. Don't sell anything at the bottom. It doesn't really matter if it's gone down that much. You might as well hold on to it. Like everything, I can't give you financial advice. I can just tell you what makes common sense out there. I can tell you what I'm thinking. I wouldn't sell mine if it got down there, okay? Now, I'm also not very heavy in the stock market right now. I am starting to move into mining stocks. I think they're very undervalued, and I'm willing to put some money into them, and I've watched them already have a pretty good run this year. Just in the last year, we've seen a lot of them go up about 30 to 40%. So I do think there's a good play there. I am still buying silver, okay? Still buying silver, guys. I am still buying gold, all right? But I'm doing it reasonably, so I'm picking it up when I can below spot from people that are looking to sell. Now, some of the other things that we could see happen here too is if we do see a big stock market crash, we could see the Fed start doing QE again and printing money. That will most likely happen if we also see job destruction at the same time. So keep your eye out for the job market. If we see massive amounts of layoffs and jobs go away, you can bet that the Fed's probably going to have an emergency call and start printing money again. Okay, I do believe that the Fed will lean towards more inflation versus deflation. Okay, so when the jobs start really falling apart, I think what you're going to see is money printing, money printing, money printing. Okay, you're going to see QE. You're going to see banks lowering the interest rates. You're going to see the 10-year Treasury come way down. Okay, they're playing games with it right now. They're trying to figure out how they can get it down low without probably having to take the entire economy down. But we've got $6 trillion that needs to be readjusted here in the next 30 days, I believe, and another $3 trillion later in the year. They can't do it at the rates right now. They need the rates to be substantially lower. So I would be watching out and keeping an eye on the market right now to see what happens. Maybe they'll be creative and come up with a way to push things off. Maybe they'll find a way to do short-term loan. I don't know. I do believe that these, though, especially because gold's now in a bull market, okay, and the capital rotation is almost confirmed by North Star charts on X. So Kevin's awesome there, guys. Go check him out. We'll hopefully have him on again. I believe he's right on a lot of this, okay? His charts are so informative. There's so much detail to them. We're looking at about a $8,000 to $12,000 gold at the end of this cycle, this bull run. And I think he has that projected around 2028 to 2032. It's a little hard to read the chart that I have from him, but I think it's around that time. I've also heard people talking about $6,000 gold next July. I think that is also very possible too. Let's talk about gold. I think we can see gold coming in around $4,000 this year, maybe even as high as $4,500. It depends on a few things that happen. Now, silver is a little bit of a different beast, okay? I've heard a lot of different things this year for silver, from anywhere from $40 up to $100, okay? Now, with this one, if we hit $4,000 gold, I still think we're going to have a pretty high gold to silver ratio all the way through the end of the year. So I'm not really expecting silver to go much higher than 40 bucks. Most people that are buying crypto are doing that to get rich. Most people that are buying precious metals are doing it to retain their wealth. And that's a very, very important thing to keep in mind, okay? And so I'm buying this for wealth insurance. I like to have an ounce of gold for every $50,000 in net worth I have, okay? And I like to have constitutional silver, which this is not, but I like to have constitutional silver about $200 face per family member in my house. That's for bartering and for SHTF. And then I like to have silver eagles. I know they're more expensive, but these things are much easier to sell. You'll always get a higher premium for them than you will for silver rounds, especially buffaloes. And if you're in a situation where you need to barter and trade with one of these and someone's got a silver buffalo, guess who's getting that last pound of rice? Okay, it's going to be the guy with the eagle. So that's kind of what we talk about on the channel. We also get into information around banking. We get into some information around macro and micro economics. We have guests on the channel from time to time that will come on and give you guys some great information. And I'm going to do my best to bring more and more information and news, in my opinion, around gold and silver and what I'm doing. I'm also going to be going on to Slice, which is an app here that will be listed down below, where you guys can follow me. It is a paid service. It's where I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I'm doing for my trades. When I am buying gold and silver, I'm going to talk to you guys about my actual trades I make, how I'm able to buy gold and silver at 4 to 5% below spot, how I'm able to sell it above spot, and we'll be able to hopefully help you guys, if you want to join that club, to save some money, okay? And be able to get gold and silver at better prices. I'm also going to be talking about the mining stocks and some of the other investing I do. So until next time, peace out. Hit the subscribe, that bell icon, and the thumbs up. And take a look at some of the other videos. I think you'll enjoy them.